Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm saying welcome back to you guys like I didn't just take a 3-month hiatus, but I had this video in my archive, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to do two different type of brows. The first one I'm doing here on her right side. That is going to be what would be considered, my full glam brow. And then on her left, I'm going to do more of a natural brow. And I know the girlies asked for this way long ago, back when I made my other eyebrow video, but I didn't forget, obviously. It's just been, sitting in my archives, waiting for my project to be completed. But, here we are, we're not looking in the past, no judgment, we're just gonna go right in. So I started with a brown brow pencil, and I'm just going to go ahead and outline the outer shape of her brows. And then I'm going to fill it in. So somewhat similar to the previous eyebrow video, but I'm using my lovely daughter today because of course she has way more eyebrows than I do. But I'm just going to take the eyebrow pencil and fill in all the sparse areas, making sure to not have too much of a harshness in the front. But I'm going to make sure that it's blended in perfectly in the shape that I want. So with the full glam brow, I'm still going to go ahead and try to do hair-like strokes. I'm going to do downward hair strokes towards the top of the brow, and then I'm going to do upward hair strokes, oh my goodness, tongue twister, towards the bottom of the brow. And I'm just lifting her brow up ever so slightly. I want to get in right in between those little sparse areas and try to color it in as much as possible. And usually I would use a darker pencil towards the end of the brows, but I think for her skin color, I liked the Java. And of course, always, I'm going to make sure to have it listed down in the description box for all the products that we use today. So I made sure with this video not to do too much speed editing because I wanted to make sure this video was very beginner friendly and easy to go step by step. So with this next step, notice I'm going very lightly in the front of the brow. Of course, we don't want, the block effect towards the brow. And you want the brow to stop right around the bridge bone. So you can kind of see where her nose shapes towards the top, and then I'm just going to follow that pattern and create very light strokes in the front, again with hair-like features going upwards, and then I'm going to go a little heavier towards the end of the brow. So of course, when doing any type of makeup, you want to make sure to always blend. So I'm going with that spoolie in between all of my steps, just making sure all the eyebrow product is distributed evenly. And after this, I'm going to take my concealer on a flat brush. I know a lot of makeup artists use a round brush, but I just prefer, the square tip brush. I don't know, it just works easier for my hand. But I'm going to take that concealer brush and I'm going to outline the bottom. This first shade is a lot lighter. This is maybe 4 or 5 shades lighter. Obviously not recommended if you don't want that halo brow effect. Well, rather I should say don't place it on the top of the brow so you don't have the halo brow, but I do place it on the bottom. And I'm don't show the full eyebrow routine here because I'm only doing just her brows. She's definitely not going to get a full makeup application out of me, but I'm going to just take that concealer that's a lighter shade and outline it first, and then you'll see me go over it again with a more appropriate concealer shade that's about 2 or 3 shades lighter than her skin tone. So this is where you're going to see me take that darker shade of concealer. I'm going in with a denser brush, and I'm going to take that darker shade and I'm just going to pack in the concealer underneath it as well as the darker shade, and I'm just going to blend that in together. So as I'm packing in that concealer, I'm also dragging it down to the eye because ultimately I'm going to use that concealer if it were obviously a normal client. I'm going to use that concealer as a base, and I'm just going to try to fade it into the bridge of the nose as much as possible without going too far over past the tail of the brow. And again, I'm just going to take that concealer and I'm just packing it in all over the eye. And then since I was already doing it, I was like, I might as well just go ahead and show my my technique that I use. I'm just going in with that dense brush and I'm just outlining the bottom of the brow. I'm getting as precise as I can without smudging or getting any concealer on the eyebrow products I just used. And I'm just going back and forth as if I'm drawing or painting, and I'm just trying to get right up against that brow with that concealer. And I like to put it as thick as I can and just go ahead and pack it all in. So now I'm just taking a fluffier brush and I'm just going to pack in all that concealer as previously stated. I just want it to be all blended in. I'm going to take the fluffier edges of the brush, and to continue to pack it in, I'm just going to get as close as I can again to that brow without touching it. And I'm just going to pack and pack and pack until it is all dry. So that is pretty much it for my full glam brow, and now I'm going to switch over to my more natural brow. So now for my natural brow, I'm going to start with a similar process as I do the glam brow, except for my more natural brows, my objective is to focus more on enhancement rather than creation. So I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Brow Blade Pencil. And I'm going to do brow strokes going upward, and I'm just going to try to enhance the effect of her natural brows. And I'm going to try to stay somewhat between the pattern of where her brows are. And I'm just going to take the ink stained side, which is the felt tip pen side, and I'm just going to create some extra hairs that are going to mimic her natural brows. So I'm going to keep going with this process. Again, I'm just going in between the sparsity. Is that a word? Sparsity? Scarcity. Scarcity sounds right. I'm going to go in between the scarce areas of her hairs, and I'm going to keep taking that ink pen side, and I'm just going to keep creating those baby hairs and blending out the product as I go. Yeah. No. 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 So this step is optional. You can go ahead and leave the brow alone as is if you prefer it a little more natural, or you can do like I do and take the pencil. And now I'm just going to define the natural arch of her brows just by lightly going at the bottom, and I'm just going to outline with the pencil and then fill it in. Now I do this for my clients who prefer a natural beat. I still go in with my concealer, and again I would use for a person who wants like maybe a nude glam or something like a bare face look. I would use a concealer and or a foundation closer to her skin, but I wanted to make sure to be able to show you how I highlight it, and I'm not going in as in depth as I am or as I would with a full glam. But of course, if you're doing this, please use your natural shade. But I'm just going to do almost the same predicament and just take my concealer downward And this is where you would pack your concealer and you would create that basic or bare or nude or how, you know, whatever look you're trying to go for in this portion. So here is the final products. It's crazy that both her eyebrows look very soft on her. I think she just wears the makeup well. I'm not gonna let her know that until she's like 16, but as you can see, one is my full glam and one being my more soft, natural side. Yes, I have to be that mom to make sure she knows how beautiful she looks with or without makeup. But here is my finished tutorial. I'm glad you guys made it this far, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If there are any other questions, let us know, and I'll try to make you some more videos. Until next time, Slay Babes.